Friday, July 28th, and look at this. Your boy's got a collared shirt on. He must have a lunch appointment. He does. Welcome. It's good to have you back here on the Damon Bruce Show. Welcome back to the Plus. Good to see so many people already hanging out, chatting, betting on whether or not the sip of the day will happen before or after the 11-minute mark. You know what? Sip of the day, right off the rip. You should have taken the under. Should have taken that under today. Should have banged that under hard. It is really good to see you. We've got a fun, short show for you this Friday. Like I said, Daddy's got some work to go do, and it's going to be a kind of an interesting weekend as we get closer and closer and closer to the start of football season. But boy, baseball still all around us. The Red Sox are in town, which means there's going to be some big crowds downtown by the ballpark for the Giants all weekend. We got a great naming starting pitcher duel. I mean, we got some great names out there. So we will get into all of that. We'll get into training camp. We'll get into the latest embarrassing news for the Pac-12, and the Big 12 is just in full-on take-no-prisoners mode. But we have to begin with what the thumbnail said we'd be talking about today, and that is Mr. Shohei Ohtani. Now, I know that we have completely trademarked, patented, and we are where Ohtani Tuesdays were born, right here on Damon Bruce Plus. Ohtani Tuesdays, first person to ever put those two words together, I believe, on the planet. But we cannot wait until Tuesday to talk about what Shohei Ohtani did on Thursday. Because Shohei Ohtani just had one of the single greatest days any baseball player has ever had at any level of baseball, any continent, any age group that has ever been played. I mean, when you then factor in, oh, this is Major League Baseball. This didn't happen on a Little League field. This didn't happen with 14, 15-year-old kids. No, this is happening at the Major League level with well-paid grown adults everywhere trying to subvert what Shohei Ohtani does. And no one can stop this guy. No one can stop him. Yesterday, as the Angels are playing a doubleheader, he throws a near no-hitter in the first game, a one-hit complete game shutout in game one, and then in game two, he comes back with 2 home runs. A near no-hitter and 2 home runs to sweep both ends of a doubleheader, which this wasn't just a good day for Shohei. This was an actual good day for the Anaheim Angels, and you don't get to say that out loud very often these days. The Angels are just 3 games out of playoff position now. They got 2 White Sox pitchers coming in after they traded 2 top prospects for Lucas Giolito and change. It's all of a sudden, are the Angels interesting? I don't know, but Shohei Ohtani is always the most interesting man on planet sports, and he proved it once again. Sarah Langs says Ohtani's the first player all time with a home run in one end of a doubleheader and a shutout in the other end, according to Elias Sports Bureau. It was Ohtani's first career shutout at the major league level. He's got 38 home runs so far in 2003. That gives him by far the most homers hit in a season by a player who's thrown at least one shutout in that year. His second home run had a 116.9 mile per hour exit velocity. His 10th career home run with at least a 116 exit velocity. The only player with more such home runs since 2018 is Giancarlo Stanton. So again, Ohtani's not just hitting home runs, he's mashing, absolutely mashing home runs at a near hasn't been measured like this before from anyone, right, except for only one other guy, Giancarlo Stanton. Like Sarah goes on to point out, that's impressive in its own right, but even more so when we remember that this is from a player who leads qualified pitchers in opponent batting average. He's leading Major League Baseball in home runs hit and how hard it is to just pick up a hit off of him. It's remarkable. It's just simply remarkable. Ohtani currently leads baseball in OPS, slugging percentage, home runs, opponent's batting average. He's tied for the league lead in triples. He's the first player to have a share of the major league lead in home runs hit and batting average allowed with minimum 70 innings pitched at the end of any given day since 1900. So he's done something that has not happened in 123 years, and he's done that many, many days so far this season. He's just absolutely remarkable. And even though it felt like, I remember doing shows with Ray where he would say, like, slow your roll. He's not the best ever. And I would say, no, actually, if we just do away with the concept of small sample size, and here's what you're looking at, here's what you're seeing. Do you understand what you're seeing? Look, I don't mean to pat myself on the back here, but I think I understood Shohei Ohtani before an awful lot of people. People would tell me, why don't you get off his nuts, Damon? Why don't you stop rocking so much Shohei Ohtani love? Why? We're watching history every single day. And look, suppose you don't like me, and if you don't, what are you doing here on the Plus? I don't know, but thanks for stopping on by and hit subscribe. Maybe we'll become friends. Maybe we'll be hanging out on August 5th at our first ever Plus meetup at Victory Hall. More details on that in just a little bit. And the Eventbrite invitation is officially going to be distributed social media-wise at the end of this show today. So please go ahead and sign up so we can get an approximate head count. We're not charging anyone to come. We just want to know how many people might be coming. Punch and pie. We'll be serving punch and pie. If you want a lot of people to come, tell them you got punch and pie. Again, not patting myself on the back, but I recognize greatness before I think a lot of people wanted to admit that they were watching greatness. But you can forget about me telling you that Shohei Ohtani is the best player of all time. Forget my opinion. Use your own two eyes and the data that the man is putting back in front of you on a near game-by-game basis. He is absolutely remarkable. He's one of one. So is my guy Ike. He feels like he's one of one, right? One of one sandwich proprietor who owns now nearly 100 stores throughout California. And if you're thinking about what you're going to be doing for lunch today, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, you want to order a little something for the office, why not go ahead and check out Ike's Catering? You can do that on the app as well. He's got 2 new premium sandwiches that are going to be unveiled to the world in early August. Again, I got a sneak peek. Wagyu pastrami is coming for you. Wagyu pastrami is coming for you on an Ike's menu. That's all you need to know. I should have had you at pastrami. Put the Wagyu in front of it. Now all of a sudden, there's a riot. Get yourself to Ike's. Get yourself a delicious sandwich for yourself, for you and someone else, for your entire office. You'll be glad that you did. If you are in San Francisco and you're feeling like a cheeseburger, get yourself to Uncle Boy's. And when you're done at Uncle Boy's with that cheeseburger, you go back in, you get the lumpia, baby. The lumpia is fantastic. The onion rings are great. The French fries are great. I'm an onion rings guy through and through. I'm a lumpia guy through and through, and I love Uncle Boy's, the San Francisco original in the inner Richmond. Pick it up on your way to or fro. A great to-go burger at a price point you're going to say, that works. That absolutely works. I think all burgers are directly related to their price points. That Uncle Boy price point and the quality of burger, everything you get, it makes it one of the best burgers in the entire city. And I say that without reservation. I said that before we got into business together. And let me tell you, I'm going to say the same thing about Blackened, because this is some of the best whiskey I've ever drank in my life. I got bottles upstairs. Whenever I show up to a friend's house now, they're like, hey, man, where's the Blackened? The word is spreading. Get yourself to Bevmo. Pick yourself up a bottle. You want a reasonable price point on a bottle of whiskey? You got that. It is delicious. Make sure you pick up one for yourself, for a friend. It goes in well. It goes neat. It goes straight. It goes cocktails. Does whatever you want your whiskey to do. Get yourself some Blackened whiskey. Love my sponsors. I also love a good name matchup when it comes to a pitching matchup, and we got one at 24 Willie Mays Plaza tonight as the Red Sox come to town and again bring an always rabid fan base and all the history of the Boston Red Sox and all those East Coast snowbirds who have moved to California and will gladly get in a car and drive 500 miles to go see them. We got Red Sox fans descending on the city of San Francisco today as they come into town for a pitching matchup that's got Logan Webb, and that's a great name, against Cutter Crawford. That's a great name. A Cutter with a K, by the way. which if you're throwing cutters in a Major League Baseball game, you want K's with them. I like that. Cutter Crawford. Great name. So Giants got a weekend series with the Red Sox. All these games are high leverage games as the Giants are trying to get over this Boston hump before they get into a 4-game series early next week with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Obviously, anything in division, the price of poker goes up, and we'll see. What are we now, 4 days away from the Major League trade deadline? Let's see what Farhan does this weekend to give the Giants a better chance to really be contenders, because they're in the playoffs, kids. Do you want to go into the playoffs and deep? You need a little bit more help. You just want to appear in the playoffs? Well, yeah, you can probably do that with what you got. But you want to appear in the playoffs and actually do something? You need a little bit more than what you got. So we'll see what Farhan does this weekend. An awful lot of eyes on the Giants. They need to play well on the field, and their general manager needs to set them up for success with a trade or two. Get one more starter, Farhan. Get yourself one more outfielder. Do it. Do it. The A's, meanwhile, are in Colorado. That's as painful a series as there is to pay attention to in baseball, so we basically won't. What I can't help but pay attention to, though, is that, John Fisher, as we've said many, many times, is the embodiment of sports evil. And he pretty much proves it at every single turn. He gets to prove it to you, and he's proven it once again. Have you seen that the A's fans are trying to plan another reverse boycott? And the cheapest tickets to the newly scheduled reverse boycott is now being sold for $44 a pop. And normally to get into an A's game, it's about $10 a pop. So they are going out of their way to dynamically ticket price another reverse boycott plan for A's fans groups that are trying to make their voices heard. That SOB, God, he's the worst. He is really the worst. Now, I'd like to think, just for a moment, that this is an actual sign of worry by the A's and John Fisher, that this is an actual level of concern, that fans are expressing themselves so succinctly that their message is now falling not on deaf ears, but on ears that are beginning to listen to the plight of some fans. And the coverage of the Sell That Team chant, the Sell shirt, it's all been trending up in the last week or two around Major League Baseball. And I'd like to think that they're actually afraid that fans showing up to make a difference could scuttle their plans to relocate. Now, maybe that is completely naive of me. It probably is. This is where I feel like, I've always got an angel and a devil on my shoulder. The angel is faceless. The devil's always Ray Ratto. The devil's always Ray saying, no, they don't care about fans. And he's usually right about that. And I don't think it's easy to shame the shameless. And John Fisher certainly checks the box of shameless. But I'd like to think that there's some concern that all of a sudden this bad attention directed at John Fisher might get in their way of what they want to do in Las Vegas. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that just be glorious if other major league owners are starting to talk amongst themselves saying, we just cannot give such a valuable side of the stick and hand it to a guy who drops the stick every single chance he gets. Now, you wouldn't think with NFL training camp open, right, that that we'd be leading today's show on a Friday with baseball, but that is how special Ohtani was just on Thursday. And really, when it comes to NFL training camp news, I saw a couple breathless reactions. One of them coming from Grant Cohn yesterday about how inaccurate the triumvirate, the quartet of 49ers quarterbacks were in practice. He's walking off the field having a panic attack, and I don't understand it. I don't understand. You're clearly trying to perform more than you're trying to inform. I don't get it. Anyone who is trying to sell you drama about the 49ers quarterback position is like clearly new at this or doing it for reasons that are somewhere outside of relaying to you what has actually just happened. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I put out a short video yesterday. You can go ahead and you can click on it. You can see it. Or I'll just tell it to you right now. Basically, the video was this. Take every single bit of training camp news, put it on the back burner. There's only one bit of training camp news that should ever be on the front burner, and it's simply this. Was anyone hurt at training camp today? And if the answer is no, you had a good day at training camp. It's just that simple. No one got hurt. So that's a great day for everyone down in Santa Clara yesterday. And look, Brock's completion percentage might not have been state-of-the-art on day one. Who cares? He's healthy, and the arm strength looks to be right where it was last year. And for a guy coming off of a surgery, that's what's important in day one. You know, the accuracy, the touch, the feel, that'll come back to him. You're telling me this is his first day out throwing for real on a football field, and you're going to get into the picadillos of, well, overthrew a guy, underthrew a guy a little bit. It'll all come back. It's like riding a bike to these guys. You want to talk about how, Trey Lance fumbled the first snap? Not good. When I was down there, I saw him fumble a snap too. Look, there's a reason why Sam Darnold and Brandon Allen are in the room. And that's because Trey Lance might not be very good at this. Or he might be. We still don't know. And we're not going to find out probably between now and the beginning of the year. So just relax on that shit. Calm down. Here's a little mental exercise to do in case you're right now looking at this saying, nah, Damon, you're listening to the podcast and you're like, nah, man, snaps count. Completion percentage counts, training camp counts, everything that goes into the stew, it all matters. It comes out in the flavor of the regular season. Like, okay, maybe. I would also invite you to remember that Mike Singletary used to be undefeated in the preseason. Remember that? Remember when Mike Singletary would be sporting a 4-0 record with the 49ers in preseason football, and then first quarter, week one, everything would fall apart like instantly? So calm down. And here's a little mental exercise for you. Little something for you to do while you're sitting alone. You don't even need help with this mental exercise. You don't need a spotter. You can just do this by yourself. Are you ready? Ask yourself, what's the better day at training camp? Brock Purdy goes 8 for 8 on his throws, but Brandon Ayuk gets hurt? Or Brock Purdy is 0 for 8 on his throws, and everyone goes skipping off the field even healthier than they were when they got out of bed that day because everyone had just worked out? What's a better day at training camp? 8 for 8 and an injury, 0 for 8, nobody's hurt. I'll take 0 for 8, nobody's hurt coming off of an NFL practice field every single day of the week. What are we talking about? By the way, Kyle Shanahan will take that. Every member of the 49ers will take that. Brock Purdy will take that. Brock Purdy's agent will take that. Are you kidding me? It's training camp. We haven't even gotten to August yet. Oh, my God, he was 2 for 8 on long balls, and he's overthrowing. He just got back throwing a football today. God, if being an overreactionary, breathless pearl clutcher is key to YouTube success, I'm going to tell you, I'm in a lot of trouble over here. I'm in an awful lot of trouble over here if I have to be performative, if I have to put on a performance to get you to be interested in what I'm saying. I'm in an awful lot of trouble if I have to pretend that Brock Purdy having a rough day, first day back after an elbow surgery means anything other than, hey, it's good he's back. Maybe that's not sexy. Maybe I'm not sexy. God almighty. Ooh, that almost qualified for the second sip of the day. That was another really good one. Every now and then, it's like you hit a patch of coffee that's better than the rest of the cup of coffee. And you know what I'm talking about? Is this only happens to me? I don't know. Maybe it's a cooling down. Maybe it's a temperature thing. Maybe sips get better as the temperature drops. I wonder what my preferred sip temperature is. 160? 155? I don't know. I'm sure you don't care either. You want to hold your breath when it comes to training camp news? Did you see what happened to Joe Burrow yesterday? He scared the hell out of the entire Cincinnati Bengals organization. Joe Burrow had a non-contact injury that when you just looked at it, the way he started gingerly favoring his right leg and hopping around on his left, I mean, it looked like a torn Achilles. It isn't, but it is a calf strain. Coming off his best year, the last thing Joe Burrow wants is any sort of injury that is going to get him off of the path that he's on right now. And that path is going to lead to him being the next highest paid player in the history of football. You know, if Justin Herbert just became number one annual average value, if Patrick Mahomes is still number one based on entirety of deal, Justin Herbert's looking to thread the needle between both of them in some way, somehow, and that'll be easier to do without a non-contact injuries. So let's see how quickly he gets back on the field. But again, do you think anyone who saw Joe Burrow limping in that moment started thinking like, geez, what is he today on his throws? Is he 7 of 14? Is he 4 of 9? Is he 10 of 10? No, as soon as that injury occurs, that's all that matters. It's all that matters in training camp. Did anyone get hurt? Yes, bad day. Did anyone get hurt? No, good day. Everything else does not matter if those first two questions are answered emphatically. Nothing else matters. Do you remember when the Pac-12 was going to come raiding the Big 12 for schools? Remember that? That was a few years ago. Like when Berkeley was going through its stadium redesign, there was talk that they might go after the Big 12. They might go after Texas. The Pac-12 might be courting Texas. I remember doing a show on KNBR that night when that news came out. And I just said simply is they had squatters sitting in trees outside of Berkeley Stadium that you don't want Texas in the Pac-12 because football in Texas is more important than literacy is in Berkeley. Like they're just a level of fandemonium down there that you don't want anything to do with. And of course, that rumor came and went and it was much ado about nothing. They ended up adding on to the stadium in Berkeley, and they got a great stadium. Cal's got a great facility. It really does. But man, how things have changed. Things are just they could not be worse for the Pac-12, right? How does it get worse? How does it get worse for the Pac-12? Well, what if 3 other schools left? And you know what? That might happen. The Big Ten began the exodus of the Pac-12's nobility when they took the single most valuable Pac-12 football property from the conference. That, of course, is USC. And then also took their rival UCLA, which might not be the most important football team in the conference, but is absolutely the most important basketball team in the conference. Colorado, let's face it, wasn't even that important until Deion got there, and immediately the Pac-12 was saying, just back in May, how Deion was about to become the face of the conference going forward. Well, that'll last one season, because in 2024, Colorado University, CU, will see you later, Pac-12, and is joining the Big 12. And the Big 12 says that it's not done. Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah are all now on the Big 12's radar. Sports Business Journal wrote, the Big 12 will add between 1 and 3 schools to join Colorado in 2024. The league will first seek other Pac-12 members to join. And if none do so, the Big 12 would add a group of 5 schools to reach an even number of members in 2024. The conference is eyeing the 4 corner schools, Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado to join in the move. Oregon and Washington are also possibilities from the Pac-12. Arizona is the most likely Pac-12 candidate to join Colorado. The group of 5 candidates being considered if needed are UConn, Memphis, San Diego State, and UNLV. SMU apparently is also a possibility, but there are already 4 Big 12 schools in the state of Texas. Do they really need a 5th? Meanwhile, not only is the Pac-12 unable to hold on to what it's got, did you just hear how San Diego State could be considered by the Big 12? San Diego State, you figure, would be the number 1 draft pick of the Pac-12. So not only does the Pac-12 need to worry about the schools that they have, they need to worry about the schools that they might want to add, because those could be off of the table too. This is extraordinary. This is absolutely extraordinary. And the Pac-12 yesterday issued the single most not paying attention to their own headlines, limp-wristed bullshit statement you have ever seen. It reads, the Pac-12 is comprised of world-leading universities and athletic programs who share a commitment to developing the next generation of leaders, supporting student-athletes' academic and athletic excellence and broad-based athletic success. We remain committed to our shared values and to continuing to invest in our student-athletes. Today's decision by the University of Colorado has done nothing to disrupt that commitment. We're focused on concluding our media rights deal and securing our continued success and growth. Immediately following the conclusion of our media rights deal, we'll embrace expansion opportunities and bring new fans, markets, excitement, and value to the Pac-12. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You couldn't get fans excited based on what you had, and you had 2 schools in Los Angeles. What are you talking about? I mean, you're talking about adding Boise State. Do you think that is going to go ahead and maybe, rev up the Pac-12 to become the conference of champions and elite? No one's going to notice that USC and UCLA aren't there anymore? What are you talking about? You're about to come courting San Jose State, for God's sakes. Boise State, San Jose State, San Diego State, those 3 schools might honestly look at the Pac-12 and be like, nah. If the Pac-12 decided to pivot to we kind of screwed the pooch on football, let's try to be a great basketball conference, Gonzaga might look at the Pac-12 and be like, nah, not interested. What media deal? At the conclusion of our media rights deal. What conclusion of your media rights deal? You've been looking for a media rights deal for 5 years. What are you talking about? At our conclusion of our media rights deal. Conclude, end it, get it done, sign it today. I don't even care what the dollar amount is. If it's $1, it's more than no dollars, and right now you're offering no dollars. It's insane. You got 2 commissioners just slow playing everything back to back. Larry Scott, George Kliakoff, that might be the worst back-to-back duo commissionerships of all time. The conference is disintegrating. These guys are twiddling their thumbs. Big 12, that real statement from the Pac-12, let me go ahead and put the real Pac-12 statement through the little, Plus truth machine. Boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Here's what it should have read. The Pac-12 statement should have read, and I wrote this down. I wanted this to be good. Here's the statement if we could funnel it through the prism of truth. It should read, we, the remaining Pac-12 institutions, are collectively shitting our pants. Our last 2 commissioners have been so thoroughly outmaneuvered at every conceivable turn, we no longer know which end is up. The media package we're negotiating today, you would assume, would have to be dramatically altered, and lawyers will come start circling if Arizona State, and Utah all left too. We have screwed this up beyond belief. We are now the Sun Belt Conference, kind of. Now that UCLA is out, and if Arizona should follow, we can't even position ourselves as a major basketball conference, and we would be turned down by Gonzaga, for Christ's sakes. You know, what was going to be your biggest Pac-12 draw basketball-wise? Let's be honest, it was about to be Bronny James at USC, and medical reasons might not ever have him playing organized basketball again. If it wasn't bad luck, the Pac-12 would have absolutely no luck. Unbelievable. Unbelievable turn of events, and the wheel ain't done turning, and the Big 12 is literally kicking this conference's teeth in and out. They're curb stomping the Pac-12. Curb stomping the Pac-12 is what the Big 12 is doing. So there you go. I told you, I promised you, I'd never waste your time with the other things, the stuff that doesn't matter. Those are the big stories this Friday afternoon. It's a part of this year where baseball's in its dog days. Football is coming. We're seeing this conference realignment story really start destroying the credibility of a once great conference. And it feels like so many of those wounds were avoidable, self-inflicted, driven by greed. I cannot believe what is happening to the Pac-12. And look, maybe the Bay Area has never been that big of a college football entity. If the Pac-12 is now going to basically saying, like, it's up to the Bay Area to carry us through this, you're in trouble. You're in an awful lot of trouble because Stanford and Cal are just hoping to get 35,000 students into their own stadiums. That's it. Neither school is going to be particularly good this year. Here's what the Pac-12 actually has. One more year of USC and Caleb Williams to look at, and you got Michael Penix up in Washington to sell as a possible lurking Heisman stalking horse. That's it. That's what the conference has to offer. That's bad. That is bad. We're going to slip on into Club Plus here on YouTube. If you're tuning in on the podcast, thank you so very, very much. I want to invite you and remind you one more time that we're having our first ever gathering. We're getting together as one big Plus family. Come join me, Jillian. We'll have the kids maybe around. The Duchess is going to be in town. The in-laws are going to be popping on in. Friends and family alike, come on in and meet the Bruces at Victory Hall. It's a watch party scheduled right in the same time that we are going to be getting A's and Giants from over in Oakland. We're going to be watching at Victory Hall from 3 o'clock to the end of the game, hanging out, having fun, black and whiskeys coming through, pouring drinks and cocktails. It's going to be a really, really good time. Keep an eye on your social media feeds for that Eventbrite sign up. And please do go ahead and sign up if you plan on coming so we can have an idea as to how many people are showing up. We're not charging a thing. We're not trying to make any money off of this. We just want to say thank you for helping us get off the ground in the first place. We are officially over 6,800 subscribers out as of this morning, an incredibly humble number in the grand scheme of things, but without a doubt, a great start as well in the grand scheme of things. And that is because of you. And I thank you. Jillian thanks you. And we'd like to thank you in person on August 5th, 3 o'clock, Victory Hall, Rich Street in San Francisco. More of an alley than a street. But we hope to see you there. We really do. Keep an eye out for that Eventbrite sign up on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Threads, and whatever the hell else. I don't know. Where else do we have to post things? I don't even know. It feels like enough. It really does. We're about to hop into Club Plus, though. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, whew, he's gone. Sexy. Do. What do we got going on in the chat today? Let's see what you guys are up to. And oh, by the way, Got to get my black and 2x4. Ayo. I do. Even when I don't say it out loud, there's no way that I can't help but think of this every single time. The Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Every time ayo, every single time I put it on my shoulder, even though I might not say it, I'm thinking about it. Plusapalooza. Plus stock. Thank you. Yes. Rockin' New Era 84. Plusapalooza, Plus stock. Plus Mania, Plus Meetup, Plus Con 1. We'll take that too, I guess. By the way, I had not seen this name in here before. Basics BMX. Basic BMX. Hello. NorCal Viking. Hello. Plusinator. Okay. The Plus Bowl. Look, the Pac Plus. Maybe the Pac-12 conference should run its football games on the Plus. I mean, maybe we're the media outlet that can save the entire situation. Let me scroll back up and see where we are, boys and girls. Oh, okay. We'll begin with this right here. Fisher's a bum and should be banned from pro sports. Alex ATL. You are right, Alex. The worst. He is the worst. Should be taken from him. JJ Raider. Ray is always right. Well, let's not go that far. Let's see. We have Showtime fans. Oh, hello. Hello, Japan. Whenever we talk Shohei Ohtani, we get Japan in the house. 5% of the Plus audience coming from Japan. Feels like a remote we got to put on the books. Maybe the second Plus meetup will be in Kyoto. Honey, I got to go to the Plus meetup. Where is it? Kyoto. Jillian's cool. She'd be like, bring back some ramen. Look, I'm glad that Ray's been filling in this week on KNBR. Good for him. Good for him. Let's see what we got here. Showtime fan says, Ohtani's on that God level. He really is. You know, and if that's blasphemous, you put him on that Ruth level, put him on whatever level. Again, I had somebody yesterday try to statistically make the case that Babe Ruth still better than Ohtani. Look at the winning that the Yankees did and blah, blah, blah. And look at the batting average and careers, all this stuff. That dude, Babe Ruth never saw a 23-inch break on a slider in his life. He was playing against normal people, not professional athletes, normal people who played baseball professionally. But he played against normal people. How many times do you think Babe Ruth saw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in his career? You see 95-mile-an-hour cheese by the worst guy in the Rockies bullpen in the 6th inning. I mean, it's a completely different language being spoken around baseball today as opposed to the language that was being spoken around baseball when Ruth was playing. And again, if I have to give a history lesson, that baseball just cannot be as good or as competitive when no minority was allowed to even participate. Not a single Latino player, not a single black player when Babe Ruth was around. Come on, man. There's just nothing to talk about. Ray going back to KNBR. I don't know if Ray's going back to KNBR. I think he's filling in for Tolbert. I think he is. He's filling in for Tolbert this week. That's all that's happening there, I believe. But I don't know. Look, good for Ray. Let's see. Well, Ray has mentioned he's quasi-retired. Did Ratto acknowledge, writes RIP Cougar Rebel, did Ratto acknowledge that YouTube chat at all yesterday? There's no, dude, Ray hates the chat. Here's the thing that you all must understand as you love Ray. he hates you. Not in like a bad, mean way, but he is not interested in taking a single phone call or reading a single text from a single audience member. Never. Not at all. He's consistent. Talking about, what constitutes a good day at training camp. It's real simple. Not being hurt. Nathaniel Richards gets it. He's like, I'll take that 0 for 8 every time. 0 for 8, nobody hurt is better than 8 for 8. Someone got hurt every single day of the week. Again, the breathless reaction and documentation of training camp is, to me, like the bane of all timeline existence. If something big happens on a practice field, let me know about it. Charting check down throws to fifth string running backs, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I'm not. Golden State Lakota. It's real simple. Injury-free, baby. Especially when it comes to the Niners, who, let's face it, just feel like they get bit by the injury bug more often than other NFL teams. Oh, look at this. Brian Henry. 0 for 8. Got a jaboo. Hey, Fish is at the Garden tonight. I believe when Fish is done playing the 7-show run at Madison Square Garden, they will have played Madison Square Garden more than any other band or artist ever. More than even Billy Joel. And Billy Joel, like Madison Square Garden's a home game for Billy Joel. So there you go. Got a jaboo indeed. AJ Cruz 75, the amount of panic over that quarterback situation is insane. And again, I don't understand why there's panic on the day your starter is back and healthy and ready to go and ahead of schedule. Like, that is cause for the opposite of panic. That's cause for feeling good about something. Again, arm strength good, no freaking pain when he throws, everyone's happy. That's good. Everyone will get their touch back. Everyone will get their touch back at some point in time today. Or not today, but before the season starts. Sporticus has got it right. The best day of training camp is the last day of training camp. Thank you, Sporticus. Otis Bird III, again, he's been monitoring Bay Area Sports Talk Radio as closely as a Nielsen rating. And he's like, yeah, that quarterback conversation from some local media gets tiring. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Damon, your sip temperature is officially a hot take. Thank you very much, Erwin. Well played. Oh, it feels like we've come down to 127. Maybe that sip was like 124. I don't know. Oh, so Adrian saying, Damon, it's all the sugar at the bottom of the cup. Not here. I take my coffee like I take my whiskey. Blackened. No cream, no sugar. Just coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Chef A, as my booby used to say, Bubba, if you have your health, you've got everything. Stay healthy, boys. That's it. It's the truth. I tried to use a Russian accent there. It might have come out a little bit more Jewish, but I tried to do I tried to do Jewish grandmother. Have another bowl of soup. JJ Raider. He's saying, hey, Money Green, I don't even care about that. I'm bringing up JJ Raider because JJ Raider's watching on Twitch. What's up, Twitch? All 9 of you watching today. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. What do we got? Pac-12 in the toilet? Yeah, no doubt. How about the Pac-Few? Yeah, not bad, Mitch. Should be the name of the new conference. The Pac, how many have we got here today? The Crap 12? Not bad. Not bad. Ernie Chavez says, nothing else matters. Shout out Metallica. Go Metallica. It's nuts, man. Look at Sporticus working in what, Pixar films here? Saying the Zootopia DMV is better managed than the Pac-12. Is that the sloth doing the slow punch of the thing? Yeah, look, I really don't know. They better come up with a media deal that is the most unbelievable media deal of all time. Again, the money is pretty much, they're out of money. They're out of channels where they put in this damn thing. I don't understand it. The Big 12, they showed you what real determination looks like. The Pac-12 got caught twiddling their thumbs. Big time. Big time. JB. Fight on. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, once USC joins the Big Ten, Daddy's got a new school to root for. I'm just not going to go down in flames another Indiana football season. This is my last one. I can't do it anymore. Postman in Capitola. Always good to see you, Postman. Oy, oy, oy. Any thoughts on Dalvin Cook possibly signing with the New York Jets? That's why Aaron Rodgers probably gave that money back. Aaron Rodgers knows having a pass-catching, versatile, really good running back is a great way to win football games. The league might not understand it, but he does. It is crazy that position groups determine salary in the NFL, like more than anything else. Sporticus. When the Pac-12 winds up as the six-pack, they'll have more marketing pull than they do right now. That's pretty good. The six-pack. What if that's all they got left? Ooh, look at this. Jingle jangle. Robert, thank you very much. Let's go, D. Bruce. Payday Friday. You're great at what you do. Well, thank you very much for the super chat, Robert. I really do appreciate that. I hope we're good at what we do. I hope we're good, and I appreciate you coming. I really do. Thank you so very, very much. Fresno State? Yeah, absolutely. Get Fresno State in the Pac-12. I would reach out. I'd look at it this way. It's to the point where it's time to think about adding Hawaii. It's time to think about adding Hawaii. Ponch 310. Hey, University of Phoenix, Southern New Hampshire University, they could possibly join the Pac-12. Yeah. DeVry, you got air conditioning coolant as your major. You can go ahead and do that. It's nuts, man. It is absolutely nuts what's going on. E. Scott Burns, the Pac-12 is Harvard business study of complex absenteeness, not understanding its core values, a commissioner who couldn't see anything but women's tennis, and worthless university chancellors. You're right. You are absolutely right. It is just, I don't know if it's arrogance that led them to proceed so slowly. Is it arrogance? Is it incompetence? Is it negligence? Is it just stupidity? I don't get it. I just don't get it. AJ Cruz, who's been working a lot of Wham references into his postings in the last 3 days, says, hit that like button before you go. Well, thank you very much. I do plan on hosting solo. No more Wham. Although the Wham documentary on Netflix isn't bad. It's really good. Quite a 4-year run. It's amazing that the conference that is sitting out in the middle of the tech explosion that the world is going through right now can't even figure out a way to make that work for them. They really can't. Rob C. says, I landed in Vegas last night and I saw a New Mexico license plate with Ohtani on it. Is that a sign? That he's the best player in the world? Yeah, when you got New Mexico license plates honoring foreign-born Japanese players who are now in America, you know something special is happening. There is no doubt. Brian, working in fish references again. Got a Japlus. Thank you. I like that. Ohtani Auto Parts. Good job. Good job, True Blue Forever. All right. See, by the way, isn't that true? Oh, man, now I need some ramen. There are a few foods that all you need to do is say it out loud, and then everyone's like, hey, you know what? I'll take one. Ramen, pizza, cheeseburger, taco, burrito. Burrito, taco, same family. Well, yeah, we all know. Different pews in the same church. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? What we got is a lunch date that Daddy's got to get to here. Unfortunately, it's not a romantic lunch date with the wife. It's a business date, if you will. Erwin K. Wong nails it right here. Ray is the sports talk version of the dominatrix. The more he craps on us, the more we like it. Oh, my God. That's incredible. That is the perfect way to say it. It really is. Sharks fan 39. I don't think we've seen you before here, SJ Sharks fan 39. Welcome in. Please subscribe. I feel like the 49ers media is taking training camp way too seriously. Was it always this bad? No, it's as bad as it's ever been. Let's face it. And look, maybe it's people who are just overzealously trying to fill the void content at all times and just trying to make every single one of their videos. Here's the thing. Everyone wants their videos to do great. I don't know if I fall in that. Like, I'm like, here's the information as I see it. We'll put that video out. If it does well, great. If not, I'm not going to pretend that there's a reason for you to really be upset about something if it doesn't really exist. Again, if all you're going to do is be the boy who cried wolf about everything, am I going to be that worried about you crying wolf? NorCal Viking says, Damon, I want to say I remember Deadheads telling me that Fish was going to be the new Dead as far as people following them. This was back in the late 80s or early 90s. I heard this. Is it true? First of all, it's Fish with a PH. Second of all, it never really became all the way true because the Dead brought around a group of people that went back further in time than... Look at it this way. The Grateful Dead got a lot more heroin-y in their crowd that followed them around than Fish fans did. But when Jerry Garcia died, all of those Grateful Dead fans, for a moment there, had nowhere to go. And that's when a lot of them did hop on Fish tour for a while. Late 90s, early 2000s. That's when the This Might Get Hairy crowd kind of jumped in. And again, that's when Trey developed his problems and Fish had to split up for a little while. It's not quite the Grateful Dead phenomenon. Not quite. It's adjacent. Very different bands too, by the way. UC Steve says, Damon, I still don't know what Twitch is. Well, neither do I. And I'm on it. So there you go. Oh, my Lord, look at this. So Rob C decided to bring out the money gun in the strip club, and he's just making it rain on them hoes. Oh, my God. Nan. Ganja jar. That makes me go get the ganja jar right there. Boom. Boom. Rob C, thank you so very, very much. R.I.P. Cougar Rebels, like Rob C with that Saudi money. Damn, dude. Rob, I don't know what you do for a living, but I hope people who are just as wealthy as you start doing it too all the way around. There should be several more $100 donations coming in as I scroll through here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate it. You know what that officially gets you? Oy, oy, oy. Indeed. Boise. Must be trouble saying Boise. Boise State could probably win the Pac-12 in football. Seriously. Oregon and Washington are now the two big dogs in the room with, I mean, seriously, if Utah leads a conference, what do you got? Utah's a sneaky good athletic department. By the way, Irwin says, just got back from Oahu. Damn. That's a nice little vacation, man. No, look, now people are saying, hey, Rob, what about me? Rob C, send me some GoFunds, bro. No. Throw money at the stripper on the stage, not the guy in the audience. We got Otis Bird saying Cal could play San Jose State. It would be great. Local college football rivalries. Look, if they could sell it, yeah, I mean, it should be great. I could also see 18,000 people attend that game. Like, it just does not appeal the way it is out here, the way it does to where I come from. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Shout out Low Neal. I guess this was going back to the Fresno State portion of the program. And folks, there it is. It's so good hearing from you. Rob C, without a doubt, winning the day if we are measuring commitment due to generosity there. But thank you so much. Thank you again to the $5 donation we got. Thanks to anything. We really do absolutely appreciate it. But we're not here to beg, borrow, or steal. We're here to invite you to come on out and join us. Please come and join us down in San Francisco on August 5th. We are going to be on Rich Street, Victory Hall. We are going to be getting together starting about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on August 5th. The Eventbrite sign up will be out there in a moment. Alex in ATL says, Rob C's got a new name. Rob C Note. Absolutely change that. And Rob C, what do you know? I'm definitely up. My anniversary is August 5th. So Victory Hall is a maybe. I hope to see you, Rob, and be able to thank you in person. This is not the first time we've caught you being generous. And I thank you very, very much. Thanks to all of you very, very much for being a part of this, supporting this, hanging out with me. It means an awful lot. We're going to officially be back at 11 o'clock on Monday. Maybe a little something happens over the weekend. We're working on a few things for next week to make us stand out as the shiny little belle of the ball we hope to be. And we'll be getting ready for our first ever Plus meetup officially. The promotion goes into overdrive next week. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you for being here. Have yourself a great weekend. And we just want to remind you that, you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.